Well, guys, this place is starting to become a reality. Hey, everybody, Tim here, GraymanPOTA, amateur radio call sign, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. Well, it is starting to become a reality. The drywall is up. They're already going through and seaming and mudding or whatever the heck. I don't know what those guys do, but it is starting to take shape now. It's a little bit smaller than what I envisioned, but not bad, because like most of us, if you give me enough room to make a mess, I will make a mess. So at least this is self-contained to a little bit. And I can see why my wife wanted this out of the house. So I am looking actually forward to maybe not having my crap spread all over the place in the house. What I want to do is just kind of give you guys a quick run through now that we actually have some walls up, kind of a little bit more detailed of what I'm wanting to do. And obviously, I want to hear from you guys. I have gotten some feedback in the last couple of videos. I do appreciate that. Probably the biggest one, and actually I did act on it. But one of the biggest ones is right down here, and these just obviously look like holes. 110 outlet here. 220, 220. So I originally had planned on having a 220 circuit over here. Never know, I'm going to run an amp, of course. Going to run an amp. What do? We run amps. And the higher you go up in voltage, it cuts the current in half. So if it's a 30 amp draw on 110 volts, it's going to be a 15 amp draw. And it's just math. So, but yeah, that was one of the big things that from that, I mean, the words I heard were, well, dude, have you ever had to unplug one amp to plug another one in? This way I've got two running, and I appreciate that. I probably will never have two amps, but the one thing I've learned in this hobby is to never say never, because eventually one day you'll probably get to that. So that was the first thing. So one of the things that I want to do here is this is going to be kind of where the radio gear is going to live. I've got a 19-inch two-post telecom rack. So 19 inches is a standard width for rack gear. So anything that you find in a data center, anything you find in a telco, anything like that is going to be a standard 19 inches wide. Now, how deep that is kind of a different story. With the telco rack, it's generally for lighter weight gear. You can mount it in there. So you'll find a lot of switches. You'll find patch panels, things like that. And that's so like a light duty type thing. And that's what's going to go here in this corner. It will be the two-post rack. It will be sturdy enough to mount my flex radio. So I've got a 6400, which is basically a standard size computer, but it's designed to go in a rack like that. Now I'll put it on what's called a cantilever shelf, or cantilever, meaning that the shelf will have a portion in the front and a portion in the back, and in the middle will mount to those posts, and it'll provide an equal weight distribution on both sides, so I can put things like radios in there. So there will be a couple radios in there. So also in this rack, I'm going to bring my internet access in. Now, as of today, I have Xfinity, or Comcast is my internet provider, and I'm going to bring that over to here in the building. So my cable modem will be back here. Now, we don't have cable TV in the house, but the cable modem will be back here. And then I will use a mesh wireless network between here and the house to provide. Part of the reason I wanted it here, one of my main goals is to live stream from here in this building. So I wanted to have the fastest direct connected internet to my streaming computers from here. Also, if I do any kind of remote operations on the radio, I want to have that direct connection to the radio from my computer or in the case of the flex radio, I can actually directly connect to the radio from anywhere in the world. I don't need to have, I don't have to connect to a computer to control the radio, if that makes sense. We can talk about that later down the line as I go to set some of this stuff up. Now my goal is somewhere on this wall from here up, I will put some plywood, probably on this wall and actually over on this wall. And this will allow me to mount things directly to the wall. So in there, I'm going to have the ability to remotely power down my radios in here. So not only shut the radio off as part of the radio, power it on and off, but also have the ability to power down the power supplies. One of the things I mentioned in that last video was the ability to use something like Node Red to tie into either a local weather station, my weather station, or maybe something to the National Weather Service to say, hey, we've got lightning in the area, start the power down process. Now with the flex radio, because it is really a computer that's attached to a radio, it needs a couple minutes to actually go through a clean shutdown process, just like you would with any other computer. But once it's in a clean, powered off state, then I can turn the power off. So hopefully all that will be automated. In addition to having the ability to power down the radios remotely, I'm also going to use something like, I believe it's Paradan, that makes antenna disconnect switches. So when the power is removed from the radio, it will open up the circuit and electrically disconnect your antenna from your radio. So that is another thing that I'm looking at to mount on this wall. Grounding bus, stuff like that. I'm going to take that a little bit more serious now. Obviously, when I first started this, like most of us, you know, we didn't probably ground a whole lot, and it wasn't very good grounding. But now that I've matured more in my my setup and my knowledge in specifically amateur radio, I'm going to take things a little bit differently. So I will be grounding that, and that'll be a process that I'll take you guys through as I do it. So this is the east wall here. This is where the bulk of, I think, my workbench is going to be. And as you can tell, I've got 120 volt duplex circuits down along the baseboard here. And then up high, I have 2 quad boxes, so there'll be another 4 120 volt outlets here. And then up top, I've got one for a quad box that'll go up here, and I'll mount probably some kind of a TV. I can use it as an external display. I can watch movies on it because, you know, this is going to be my man shack, my ham cave. I don't know what you want to call it, but it'll be something. So TV mounting up here, and my goal is to use this area to make it my bench. Somewhere in there, I'll have to have a spot for printers. Obviously, everybody's got a printer at the house. You never know when you got to print stuff. So a place for a printer, 3D printer, will be out here too. Okay, so over there, east wall, bench, TV, radio gear, stuff up on the wall. Behind me is a corner. This is a 5-foot wall. This is the back side of the bathroom. Here is the south outer wall. And in this L-shaped area will be my desk. My goal is to have a standing desk, and actually I've already purchased it. It will be a standing desk that will go up and down in an L shape. So because of that, I've got 4 here in the corner. I've got 4 duplex 120 volt outlets here, so I should have plenty of power along the wall. I will mount power strips underneath the desk. And the only thing that will be leaving the desk area to go to the wall is just the power cord for the power strips. I've got these cool, and I'll talk more about those as we build the desk and stuff like that. I've got a cool set of underneath desk cable management. They're not trays. They're more like mesh bags that will allow me to kind of bundle all this stuff up and put it in there and kind of hang it in this bag instead of trying to do a fixed hard cable tray, which I don't really care for. I've got those, and those will be underneath the desk. So we will be doing another video on building out the desk, building out the radio area, building out the bench, because, you know, not only do I like to do ham radio, I also like to do electronics projects too. So having that workbench is something. What do I put here on this wall? Do I put a cabinet? Now, I think most of the cabinets, you can get them, they're kind of standard depth is 2 feet. Width, you can get them 2 feet, you can get them 3 feet, and maybe 4 feet. And I think, so this is roughly 4 foot from here to the wall. So I think, you know, I would have enough room to go this way, but I don't know if I necessarily want a 4 foot cabinet here. Only because I've got stuff here in the corner that I kind of want to see, and that would block it out. So maybe it's another smaller workbench here. Husky also has them in, I think, maybe 36 inches. So 3 feet up through 5 feet. There's a couple different sizes in there. All right, so we've covered the back wall, the east wall, with where the main bench is going to go, TV, radio stuff in the corner, with all the fun stuff that comes with radios and grounding and everything like that. Over here in the corner, we got our desk and wall. So let's go to this other wall here. So I've got another open wall to work with. They put, I've got another quad box up high, so maybe that's something over here in the corner. Possibly a cabinet right here that would go up high. And that's really about it for its wall. I got the standard, just the outlets. I think it's every 6. I don't know, there's something about code that they said they had to follow or whatever, but so high off the deck and so far along the bulkhead. And yes, I said deck and bulkhead. That's how I talk. Maybe guy. All right, so if you let me know down below, once again, do you like Seville brand from Sam's Club, or do you like Husky brand from Home Depot? Let me know your thoughts. I will put links to those down below so you know what I'm talking about. 3,000 YouTube subscriber giveaway is still ongoing, so make sure you get signed up for that. I will put a video right up here, a link to the video, and one down below on how to get registered for that. And make sure you do. It's a limited edition. It's a prison edition Denko 5.5 amp hour LiPo battery. So great stuff. So make sure you get entered in for that. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. Share this content with your friends. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. And until we have an opportunity to meet on the air, I have a video right over here that you might be interested in.